What if I told you the gas you're putting in your car right now could be slowly destroying your engine from the inside out? Most drivers don't realize that not all gasoline is created equal, and some of the biggest, most trusted brands are actually cutting corners when it comes to detergents and additives. In this video, I'm exposing 15 brands you should avoid at all costs, and revealing the 3 brands that actually protect your engine. If you care about keeping your engine healthy, you don't want to miss this. Let's get into it. Number 1. Valero. Valero is a prominent fuel brand across the US, a name you'll recognize at many pump islands. But the issue here is consistency. While Valero has decent infrastructure and a wide reach, many of its stations are not certified under higher detergent additive standards such as the top-tier standard, and may provide gasoline that meets only the legal minimum additive requirements. As modern engines, especially those with direct injection, turbochargers, or high compression, are far more sensitive to deposit formation, using a fuel with minimum detergency means you're effectively accepting faster buildup of carbon on intake valves, injectors, and combustion chambers. Over time, this can translate into reduced performance, increased emissions, and rising repair costs. If you use Valero, you should check the pump labeling for any premium additive branding. If it simply says unleaded with no mention of enhanced detergents, you're likely driving with a higher long-term risk to engine health. Number 2. Sunoco. Sunoco is another widely known name, popular in many US states and used by drivers who might assume that big branding means premium quality. However, the standard grades at Sunoco often do not advertise the enhanced additive packages necessary to protect modern engines against deposit-related wear and loss of efficiency. While they do offer a higher octane grade or ultra product in some markets, the everyday regular grade may fall short of the higher detergency threshold. For drivers who consistently fill up on the regular Sunoco fuel without verifying additive quality, the long-term result may be accumulation of injector or intake valve deposits, especially in cars with direct injection. If you find yourself at Sunoco and you cannot clearly find detergent-enhancing branding, consider switching to a certified station when possible. Number 3. Gulf. Gulf is a classic brand with heritage and presence, but again, the key is the additive package behind the scenes. At many Gulf stations, especially outside premium or race fuel grade offerings, the gasoline may provide only the minimum legal detergents required by regulators, but not the elevated levels recommended for modern engines. That means for the everyday driver using this fuel in a newer engine, the risk is that deposits build up gradually, robbing performance and efficiency without any dramatic red flag until maintenance becomes more costly. If you drive a modern turbo or direct injection engine and see a Gulf station, ask if the fuel is top-tier certified or uses additional detergency. If not, your best bet is to pick a different station. Number 4. Texaco. The name Texaco evokes a strong brand image. You also see Texaco's Halvoline or Texaco with Techron branding in some markets. But the caveat is this: unless you are deliberately purchasing the grade that is labeled with Techron or another additive package, the standard Texaco fuel may not include the additive enrichment needed. In other words, the same brand name doesn't guarantee identical fuel quality across all grades or stations. If you're filling up with Texaco regular at a station that doesn't advertise the enriched fuel, the detergency may only be minimal. For cars with modern fuel systems, this inconsistency means you could be unknowingly accepting increased carbon deposit risk. Always look for the Techron badge or premium additive labeling before assuming you're getting the higher quality. Number 5. Marathon or Speedway. The name Marathon and its Speedway network is common in many states, making it convenient, but convenience doesn't always equal the optimal fuel additive package. Many Marathon and Speedway locations may not carry the full high-quality detergency formulation or may operate independent supply contracts with variable additive levels. If their pumps don't display certified top tier or any enhanced detergent badge, the fuel could simply meet the basic legal standard rather than the elevated standard needed for deposit reduction in modern engines. For drivers of high-efficiency engines, making no distinction between regular and high detergency fuel means you might be investing in maintenance rather than in preventing it. Unless you verify, it's safer to assume the regular grade at such locations is suboptimal. Number 6. Luck Oil. Luck Oil is a global energy company, and their stations appear in many countries. However, outside of the major markets, the additive standards and supply consistency can vary significantly. In markets where regulation is weaker or supply chains are less strictly audited, the fuel may lack the enhanced detergent packages and tight quality control found in the top tiers of the industry. As a result, using Luck Oil's standard grade fuel in such markets may leave your engine more vulnerable to injector fouling, carbon deposits on intake valves, and reduced combustion efficiency over time. If you drive a modern engine, especially a turbo or direct injection unit, and you're at a Luck Oil station, it's wise to check whether the pump mentions any advanced additive or detergent certification. If not, opt for a known high detergency brand. Number 7. Irving. Irving is a well-known Canadian fuel retailer and operates in some US border regions, but again, the challenge is in the premium versus standard grades and additive levels. Many Irving locations may supply basic unleaded gasoline without the supplementary detergents or enhanced formulations, especially in colder or harsher climates. Engines with direct injection or turbocharging are more sensitive to deposit formation, so using a fuel without strong detergency may lead to faster degradation of fuel system cleanliness. If you fill up regularly at Irving and your vehicle begins to show hesitation, rough idling, or decreased fuel economy, consider the possibility that the fuel additive package is not optimized. Switching to a certified high detergency station may make a measurable difference. Number 8. Sinclair. Sinclair is a familiar US chain with a strong nostalgic brand identity, but brand familiarity doesn't guarantee best-in-class additive formulation. Many Sinclair regular grade fuels may lack the enriched detergent packages or may not advertise elevated detergency levels. For owners of modern engine platforms that are inherently more vulnerable to deposit accumulation, the fuel you choose matters significantly. If your station's Sinclair pumps don't show any enhanced additive branding, your strategy should be to either seek out the premium grade if offered, or choose another station whose fuel is clearly certified for higher detergency. Number 9. Conoco, Phillips 66, 76. These brands are often grouped because of shared corporate heritage or supply networks, and many drivers may assume all their stations offer uniform high-quality fuel. But the reality is nuanced. At some locations, the base grade may only meet the minimum additive requirement, while the premium grade may have better additive packages, but the station may not advertise it clearly. That means unless your station is verified and labeled as having additive detergency, you might be using fuel that over time allows greater internal engine deposits. For high performance or modern engines, repeated use of lower detergency fuel can translate to hesitation, rough running, diminished power, and early maintenance. So, with these brands, a little due diligence at the pump is essential. Number 10. Valvoline Standard Grade. Valvoline is marketed especially for its premium products like Valvoline Pro, Valvoline Supreme, etc. But many drivers may be filling up standard grade Valvoline gasoline without realizing the additive package is not the enhanced one. In some markets, the marketing differentiates between Valvoline Premium and Valvoline Regular, but the engine impact lies in whether the additive levels are sufficient. If you're using standard Valvoline gasoline in a modern DI turbo engine and the station doesn't clearly detail additive enhancements, you may be accepting faster buildup of interior engine deposits, poorer fuel economy, and reduced long-term reliability. As always, check the pump, look for additive branding, and if it's not evident, consider a switch. Number 11. Arco. Arco is often marketed as a budget-friendly fuel option, and for many drivers, the low prices at the pump are too tempting to pass up. But there's a hidden cost. While some Arco stations do carry top-tier certified gasoline, many do not, and this inconsistency is where the problem lies. In several regions, Arco fuel is distributed through franchises or third-party suppliers who may not follow the strict quality control standards expected from major premium brands. Moreover, Arco gasoline has historically been known to contain lower additive concentrations, especially in their regular unleaded grades. This means you may be pumping fuel that meets only the bare legal minimum when it comes to detergents, not nearly enough to protect modern direct injection or turbocharged engines from carbon buildup. Over time, Using subpar fuel like this can cause gradual performance degradation, increased emissions, and potentially costly injector cleaning. Unless you've verified that your local ARCO station participates in the top-tier program, it's better to avoid it as a regular fuel source, especially if your vehicle demands high-quality fuel for optimal performance. Number 12. Shamrock Discount Network Fuel. Shamrock may not be as universally recognized as Shell or Chevron, but it's a common sight in certain U.S. regions, especially in the South and Southwest. These discount chains often position themselves as lower-cost alternatives, and while that might seem like a win for your wallet, it can be a long-term loss for your engine. Shamrock and other off-brand budget-oriented stations typically source fuel from wholesalers or regional suppliers with less transparency about additive content. In many cases, their gasoline contains only the EPA-mandated minimum level of detergents, which is far below what's needed to keep fuel systems in today's engines clean. For vehicles with high-mileage engines or sensitive fuel injection systems, using discount fuel regularly can accelerate the buildup of intake valve gunk, reduce combustion efficiency, and cause a decline in throttle response. The upfront savings might be a few dollars per tank, but the back-end cost in reduced performance and future repairs often outweighs it, unless the station clearly displays top-tier certification, which is rare among discount chains. It's best to fill up elsewhere. Number 13. BP Standard Non-Premium Grade. BP is a globally recognized fuel brand and is not inherently bad. In fact, BP Ultimate is a well-regarded premium offering in many parts of the world. But here's the catch. Unless you're filling up with that specific premium grade, BP's regular unleaded fuel may not include the enhanced additives your engine needs. In certain regions, BP stations are independently operated, and the regular grade gasoline doesn't always meet top-tier certification requirements. That means if you're just grabbing regular BP fuel for convenience, you might be getting a product with detergent levels barely above the legal minimum. Over time, this can result in engine knock, deposit buildup, and poor fuel injector performance, particularly in cars with advanced fuel systems. The premium BP Ultimate fuel is solid, no doubt, but if you're consistently using their cheaper grades without verifying additive content, you may be compromising your engine's health without even realizing it. Always check for detergent or top-tier labeling at the pump, and if it's not there, proceed with caution. Number 14. SR and similar international market brands. SR is a fuel brand primarily found in India and other parts of South Asia, and it represents a broader category of gasoline brands that operates in markets where fuel regulation can be looser and consumer protection around additive content is weaker. In countries like Pakistan, India, or parts of Africa and the Middle East, regional brands may be able to legally sell gasoline that contains only the most basic cleaning additives, far below what automakers would recommend for modern engine designs. SR's fuel quality, for instance, has been questioned in several consumer forums, with drivers noting poor fuel economy and occasional engine knocking. When additive content is lacking, especially in hot, dusty environments, the risk of carbon buildup on intake valves and combustion chambers increases rapidly. For anyone driving modern vehicles in developing markets, using such brands without verified detergent certification is risky. You might save money at the pump, but it will cost you in lost engine efficiency and higher maintenance down the line. Number 15. Any fuel where additive info is unclear. The final item on our list isn't a specific brand, but it's arguably the most important. Any gas station that doesn't clearly identify its supplier or fuel quality. These are the unbranded or no-name stations you see tucked between bigger chains, the ones offering fuel at a noticeably cheaper price. While these stations may legally meet federal minimum standards, they often lack transparency about where their fuel comes from or which additives they use. In many cases, their fuel comes from surplus refinery stock or leftover shipments from larger distributors, meaning the additive levels can vary widely from batch to batch. For modern engines, especially those running high-pressure fuel systems, inconsistent fuel quality is a recipe for disaster. You might get a good tank one day and a gunk-producing nightmare the next. The golden rule here is simple. If the station doesn't tell you what's in the fuel, don't gamble your engine's health. Stick to well-known, certified brands with clear detergent standards. 3 gasoline options that actually protect your engine. Shell V-Power. If you're going to pick one premium fuel brand that consistently stands out, go with Shell, and specifically its V-Power. Shell has invested heavily in fuel additive technology, marketing its Nitro Plus or Dynaflex branded packages in many markets. And the concept is simple: a richer, higher detergent additive mix, paired with quality control in the refining and distribution chain. For drivers of modern direct injection engines or turbocharged units, this higher detergent formula helps to produce carbon deposits on intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers. In real-world testing and independent reports, fuels that meet the top-tier standard, which Shell does in many markets, have shown dramatically fewer deposits than non-certified fuel. For example, the American Automobile Association found that on non-top-tier fuel, intake valve deposits were 19 times higher than after 4,000 miles compared to top-tier fuels. So, opting for Shell V-Power is one of the best proactive steps you can take to preserve your engine's long-term health and maintain performance. Chevron with Techron. Chevron's Techron additive system is very well regarded in the fuel industry for its effectiveness in cleaning and preventing deposit buildup. If you're using a vehicle with modern fuel system architecture, you'll appreciate that Techron's proprietary detergent package contains polyethylamine and other advanced additives designed to dissolve existing carbon buildup and minimize new deposit formation. The brand's premium fuels are also certified under the top-tier standard in many markets. What this means for you is less chance of misfires, rough idling, and decreased fuel economy, and less frequent need for injector cleaning or intake valve servicing. In other words, Chevron with Techron is not just premium in name, it backs it up with chemistry. For those filling up regularly and driving performance or longevity-sensitive vehicles, this fuel is a smart choice. ExxonMobil Synergy Supreme Plus. Another gasoline that genuinely deserves praise is ExxonMobil's Synergy Supreme Plus. This premium formulation isn't just about higher octane. It's built with one of the most advanced additive packages on the retail market today. ExxonMobil claims its Synergy blend contains 7 key detergents and friction modifiers designed to clean intake valves, prevent injector fouling, and improve combustion efficiency from the very first tank. Independent lab testing and automaker partnerships back up those claims. Synergy Supreme Plus meets the top-tier detergent gasoline standard and often exceeds it, delivering up to 60% cleaner intake valves compared with fuel that meets only government minimum requirements. If you're looking for a fuel that not only meets the strictest standards but actively helps maintain your engine's health, ExxonMobil Synergy Plus is easily one of the smartest and most accessible choices you can make. So there you have it, 15 gasoline brands that could be doing more harm than good to your engine, and 3 that actually help your car run cleaner, stronger, and longer. It's easy to assume all gas is the same, but the truth is, what you pump into your tank directly affects your engine's lifespan, performance, and even your fuel economy. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense car advice, and drop a comment below. What fuel brand do you usually use? And have you ever noticed a difference after switching? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.